The wind screamed across the desert of glass and bone. Twin suns hung low in the sky, their dying light washing the dunes in copper and crimson. The air shimmered with heat, and the city of Virlith Prime loomed in the distance, its spires half metal, half mirage. I'd been walking toward it for 2 days when she found me. She stood on a ridge above, her cloak snapping like a torn flag. The outline of a plasma blade hung at her hip. "Traveler," she called, her voice sharp as broken circuitry. "You walk in the domain of House Kestrin. State your allegiance or prepare to duel." I squinted up at her, shielding my eyes. "House Kestrin?" I asked. "Didn't that name burn with the city a decade ago?" Her hand twitched toward her weapon. "You mock the fallen?" "Just stating history." She jumped down the slope with predatory grace, boots crunching on crystallized sand. Her face came into view, sharp angles, a streak of silver hair across her brow, eyes like molten iron. "I am Seren Kestrin, last of my line," she said, drawing the blade. "And you, whoever you are, will answer for your insult." The blade ignited with a hiss, blue light cutting through the dusk. I sighed. "I don't want to fight." "Then surrender." "That's not an option either." Her expression hardened. "Then by the old codes, we settle this with blood." She lunged. The first strike came fast, faster than I expected. I barely sidestepped, my boots grinding against glassy sand. Her blade grazed my coat, leaving a seared line through the fabric. I drew my own weapon, a short curved plasma dagger, and met her second strike with a burst of sparks. Our blades clashed. Light against light, heat against heat. I'd fought plenty of duels before, but she was different, fluid, furious. Her attacks driven by something more than duty. Every movement screamed of vengeance. "You're good," I said between parries. "Who trained you?" "My father," she snarled. "Before your kind killed him." That made me hesitate. "My kind?" She pushed forward, slamming me back. "The marked," she spat. "The soldiers of the old war. The traitors who burned the world." I froze just for a second, but it was enough. Her blade slid past my guard and nicked my shoulder. Heat flared, pain shot down my arm. She stepped back, readying the final strike. "You should have stayed dead, marked one." The word hit harder than the wound. I dropped the dagger and pulled the sleeve of my coat up, revealing the tattoo burned into my skin, a spiral of silver circuitry that pulsed faintly under the light of the suns. Her eyes widened. Her blade faltered mid-swing. The desert went silent. "Where did you get that?" she whispered. I stared at the tattoo, at the faint blue lines running from it into my veins. "I was born with it," I said quietly. "Jen encoded before the fall. I'm not one of them. I'm one of us." Her face drained of color. She stumbled back, the light of her weapon flickering. "That symbol. That's the crest of House Kestrin. Now it was my turn to freeze. What did you just say?" She pointed, trembling. "The spiral sigil. It was the mark of my father's research line, our bloodline. Every heir to House Kestrin bore it, but it was lost, erased when the archives burned." I looked at my arm again, at the pattern I'd always assumed was a soldier's mark, a remnant of a war I barely remembered. "Impossible," I muttered. "I'm no noble. I was raised in the ruins," but the mark pulsed brighter, responding to her presence. Seren deactivated her blade. "Who are you?" I sheathed the dagger. "Name's Kael, just Kael." She shook her head. "No, not just Kael, you carry the mark of my house, the blood of my family." The desert wind rose, swirling dust between us. I didn't know what to say. For as long as I could remember, I'd been told my tattoo was a curse, a marker placed on genetically augmented soldiers to remind them of their servitude. Now this stranger was telling me it was heritage? She studied me for a long moment. "Come," she said at last. "If what you say is true, there's a way to prove it." The vault beneath Virlith, by the time we reached the outskirts of Virlith Prime, the suns had fallen. The city was a ghost, its towers hollow, its streets buried in dust. Every wall was etched with the scars of the old war. Seren led me through a maze of shattered corridors until we reached a sealed vault door half buried in sand. She pressed her hand against a cracked scanner. The machine coughed to life, blue light crawling over her skin. Identity, Seren Kestrin. Air status, verified. Access level, bloodline. The door groaned open, exhaling a breath of stale, metallic air. Inside was a chamber lined with old tech, servers, holographic cores, and something that looked like a stasis pod in the center. "This is what's left of our archive," Seren said softly. "If your tattoo is truly ours, the system will recognize you." I hesitated, then stepped forward. The pod glowed faintly as I approached. My heart pounded. I pressed my palm against the console. "Biometric scan in progress," the machine hummed. A beam of light swept across my arm, tracing the tattoo. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the spiral lit up, bright, blinding silver. The console's voice changed, deeper, older. "Identity. Kestrin Unit 7, designation, Kael. Genetic link confirmed. Project Ascension, prototype." I staggered back. Seren's mouth fell open. "Project Ascension," she whispered. That was my father's secret work, an attempt to merge human consciousness with nanite symbiosis. The council banned it. "I don't remember any of that," I said. "All I know is I woke up in a ruined lab, everyone dead. Everything on fire." The console's hologram flickered to life. An older man with sharp eyes and the same silver streak in his hair as Seren. Her breath caught. "Father," she whispered. The hologram turned toward me. "If you're seeing this, Kael, then I failed to protect you. You were the first successful integration, the living synthesis of human and machine. You were never meant to be a soldier. You were meant to be family." My chest tightened. Seren stared at the projection, tears glimmering in her eyes. He made you," the hologram continued. "But the council feared what you represented. They called it heresy. When they came for us, I scattered the data, encoded it into your genetic core. Kael, protect the legacy. Protect Seren." The light faded. The chamber went dark. For a long time, neither of us spoke. The silence pressed like the weight of centuries. Then Seren looked up at me, her voice trembling. "You're my brother." Third, the awakening. The revelation tore through me like a storm. I remembered flashes, metal halls, laughter, a girl with silver hair chasing fireflies in the lab gardens. But the memories were fractured, blurred by decades of cryosleep and war. Seren reached out, hesitant, as if afraid I'd vanish. "All this time," she whispered, "I thought I was the last." "I didn't know," I said. "I didn't know I had anyone left." But before either of us could say more, the vault lights flickered red. "Alert intrusion detected." Seren spun toward the entrance. The scavenger clans must have tracked us. Through the broken corridor, we could see movement. Silhouettes, metallic glints, the faint whine of power rifles. "Can you fight?" she asked. I flexed my wounded shoulder. "Better than I talk." We took cover behind a console as the first plasma bolt sizzled through the doorway. The vault filled with the stench of ozone. Seren activated her blade again. I felt the tattoo on my arm surge, the nanites inside me awakening. The air around my hands shimmered. Energy arced between my fingers. She glanced at me. "What are you?" "Something my programming remembers," I said. When the scavengers charged, I met them head on. My body moved faster than thought, energy weaving through muscle and metal alike. I deflected bolts with a flick of my hand, each motion instinctive, encoded deep in my blood. Seren fought beside me, her blade slicing through armor and light. For a moment, it felt like we'd fought together 1,000 times before. When the last scavenger fell, the vault was silent again. Smoke drifted through the broken doorway. Seren turned to me, breathing hard. "You didn't just fight," she said softly. "You commanded the nanite field." I don't even know how I did that. She touched my shoulder, eyes wide with awe and something like fear. Maybe that's what Father meant. The synthesis. You're not just one of us. You are the bridge. I looked down at the glowing tattoo. Then maybe it's time to finish what he started. Full legacy. Over the next few days, we repaired what we could of the archive. Seren decrypted the old files. I stabilized the systems using whatever control I could exert through the nanites. The holograms showed more fragments of our father's research, plans for a new society built on balance between flesh and machine. The council destroyed this because they feared losing control, Seren said one night, staring at the twin moons through the cracked ceiling. But maybe now, maybe we can rebuild, I nodded. Not as nobles, not as soldiers, just as survivors, she smiled faintly. Brother and sister. We stood in silence for a long time, watching the desert glow beneath the moons. For the first time since the war, I felt something like peace, but deep in my veins, the nanites stirred, restless, aware. Somewhere in the buried code of my DNA, my father's final message whispered, "Ascension was never meant to end with one V." Epilogue. The signal months later, as the suns rose over Virlith Prime, the city stirred with new life. Scavengers, survivors, and wanderers gathered, drawn by rumors of the marked siblings who were restoring the old world's power grids. But one morning, as Seren worked in the control hub, a soft tone echoed through the archive, an activation signal none of us had triggered. Remote connection established, Project Ascension, Node 02 found, Seren froze. "Kael, what does that mean?" I stared at the holographic display where an Odial